This is the end of the rainbow. No one can be too sad. No, I don't wanna leave, but I must keep moving ahead. 'Cause my life belongs to the other side, behind the great ocean's waves. Bye bye, Hollywood Hills, I'm gonna miss you. Wherever I go, I'm gonna come back to walk these streets again. Bye bye, Hollywood Hills forever. Thank you for the morning walks and the sweet, sweet sunset, and for the hot night moments, for the fantasy in my bed.
Oh boy. Bye bye Hollywood Hills. Bye bye old world. Farewell old world. We loved you. Did we? I hope so. Because the world is great, and you see how there's like a goodbye and hello. You know, this is sunrise. Samu Haber, I think is his name, and Professor Dr. Heinz Haber once taught me, you know, we have a big hole in the ozone caused by, not by you, by those old guys, you know. This would be a new thing, you know. This would be WoManITy. It's kind of hard to see, maybe. You know, my mom said it was like a bull. It looks like a bull. Well, you know, I can show you how it's supposed to be a car with wings, and you build a prototype like that. And see, I just got an email, and these things, I don't ask for that, you know. It just kind of fits. So I just got an email from a man, Hank, born in 1950 in Amsterdam, Holland, and his country was always too small for him, and so he, at the age of 20, moved to Australia, and then had a life there with a wife, and first had a job with Adidas for 2 years, and then he moved on selling paintings for 20 years, and then a jewelry store for a few years, and then he had a divorce, and got into a different business. Don't know what it is. More useful than jewelry. I don't remember what it was. But then that got him to travel, and now he's happy, he says. And you know what? He would have been happy traveling, because that's what he did. He moved away from Holland to Australia, so he loves to move. He loves to be on the move, and me too, you know. And he wants to talk to me because you know, he looked into his past, and he realized that there's a lot of bad things that had happened, and you know, nobody leaves his or her country because everything's so wonderful, that I can tell you. From everybody I know who left to move to a different country, you know, left their family, their friends, their language. At that time I was also still stuck on culture, so you know, I left that culture too. I left everything, you know, and I went to America, and oh my goodness, it was like so different. And the English was like, it felt to me like, some people call it, you know, people talk there like they have a hot potato in the mouth. To me, it felt like chewing gum. It was really couldn't understand a thing, you know, watched TV and I couldn't tell the difference between a commercial and when I was watching a show or a movie. You know, now I turn on the TV and I can't tell the difference if it's you know, a criminal movie or if it's reality or the news. It seems to be the same, you know. Now I know that, and yet it looks the same. And so this guy Hank, he said he did a lot of research and he knows all the bad guys, and it's just they just always get away with it. So then I wrote back. I said, you know, I would love to talk with you, and maybe use Skype. You are online, so Skype is really easy. You just download it and you know, off you go. You connect and you can talk and watch one another like this. And because I would like to tell him that you know, I know all the bad guys too. I also know all the good guys, and it just doesn't exist that there's just bad guys and just good guys and just bad women and just good women. It doesn't exist. Because we are all human, we are all the same, and you know, I noticed. Yeah, I wanted to play this song with Helena Fischer and Michael Bolton. Now there's the two cultures together, singing, you know, coming together in song and music, and they say something. You know, I can't. I want to feel your love or something like that, and gee, how I wish to you know, I want to feel your love out here, and in a system based on fear, there's no love. It just doesn't exist. Even if you say I love you, you still need to deal with the fear all day long, every minute of the day, because the system is set up, you know, to that. So you know, we are doomed to fail in love. It's just what we created, and I believe that we can turn that around. And again, we are not all bad or all good. We are all of it. So we need to be able to also express that, you know, now I feel angry, to then say that. And if we are allowed to express that, it will never get this far that, oh my God, you know, you're such a bad guy, and you know, and you dump everything on that person. If we learn to express our feelings, then it'll be much easier. And you know, this is one thing that I learned from a professional therapist, psychologist, that as soon as you start screaming, a wall goes up, because you know, nobody wants to get hurt. So why would I listen to anybody who screams at me? So I learned that, and I don't scream, and yet I do speak the truth, and that to some people feels like screaming. I experienced this here, you know. I did speak my right, and then I am of course controlled here by a legal guardian. I said I will involve my lawyer. And just because I said it, just like this, you know what? We're not coming together here. You know, I will give this to my lawyer, and then we see what happens. This is how I said it to him, and he went in his letter and said, well, you know, Mrs. Wooders was screaming here at the top of her lungs in my store, and you know, I don't allow her to come into my place anymore. You know, things like that are happening over here, and of course that was in writing. And because I'm the identified patient, crazy person, I must always be wrong, right? So yeah, that's a system that we have created. So do you like it? See, I said to Hank, if we wish to change, then we need to, all of us change. The big guys and the small guys, if I may say this. All of us, and we all have the same, we're all the same. And I noticed while I was brushing my teeth, you know, I don't know how I got to this, but well, I have an earth here on my floor that I painted, you know, I did it actually in honor of Africa, because I feel all continents get a lot of focus, and the Africa gets a lot of bad focus, only bad focus. That's where all the refugees come from. So you know, and I'm in contact with Ebrima, and he's such a wonderful man. You know, he has what no university can ever teach. He's love personified. He just shares, and he's got nothing, and still he, like when I say, you know, I'm tired, he says, oh, go to sleep, you know, take care of yourself, you know, we talk tomorrow. And he always has a friendly word. And you know, I know people from here who are in business, they go over there and they say, oh, they're so content. Well, yeah, they're so content, great, what choice do they have? But then they're not allowed to earn their own living, to live like these people who come and take all this balance and love from them, and then they go home and say, yeah, well, they're fine, right? Well, they're not fine, all right? So we got to do something about that. And not, Dr. Zetsche, it's not, I don't want to go into your wallet and say, you know, all right, Bima, you need $1 million, here you have $1 million. No, we need to do more. We got to go deeper and change everything profoundly. So I have this earth here on my floor, and above an African tree, and with this, you know, there's a song by Led Zeppelin. Do you know that? You know, the Stairway to Heaven. I listened into it, not exactly my type of music, but my type of line. So I used it and I made it yours. So you know, if I had the choice in all the places of the earth right now, I felt this thing, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, that guides us most in California. So I would love to live, you know, and not all in California. My favorite place is the place around Los Angeles. You know, I love Santa Monica. I love Malibu. I just do. They have like the ways or streets or whatever you want to call it, going alongside the beach. I went rollerblading there. So that's my idea of freedom. And funny thing is that the streets in California, they're not called like in the rest of America highway. They're called freeway. So I thought, we are about freedom, right? I'll include you now, all right? So we are about freedom, we are about love, we are about peace, we are about finding a way with one another. As a Wohlfahrtsverein, all of us, not just Daimler, all of us. So how cool is that, huh? You know, all of us getting along. And what I noticed while I was brushing my teeth is that we are all connected with the water that surrounds us, right? And we're separated by the land. And maybe we're just focusing too much on the land, and you know, we gotta dive into the ocean and then all swim. Can you imagine all people at once diving, you know, going into the water and holding hands, and we would feel we're all one, we're all connected. You know, what a picture. I know we will never do this, but then maybe we would. Who knows? You know. You said on your interview at the Mercedes-Benz Museum, women are more daring than men. I wonder why that is. I have no idea, because I mean, I grew up with my dad. He was always worried. Oh, be careful! You know, the kids could do this. Kids could fall. And my ex-husband, he was like that too. Only, you know, he didn't. It's funny, like they dumped, my dad dumped it on my mom. She was supposed to take care of us, and my ex-husband, he dumped it on me. It's like, you know, where are the kids, you know, don't you know? And this, like, I was supposed to always be doing, you know, like I was like the assistant to his fear and take care of his fear. And sorry, that's not my job, because, you know, I was with the kids and I felt them. I knew they were okay, and I checked every now and then, so I was okay. So if he was worried, why didn't he go out and check? You know, he didn't. It was like, it's your job. That's really old school, but then that's how I lived. You know, that's what I was exposed to, and I'm not the only one. I'm sure I'm not the only one. You know, and you know, this man was so attached to his mom. You know, it's like she gave him something that was really close to her heart, a plant, a datura. And that was his life, you know, and he didn't take care of it, you know. It's like he sprayed it with the water and soap, and there was bugs on there and stuff. And when the leaves fell down, well, I had to pick them up. So, you know, he pampered this plant so much that I got so angry one day. I took a saw, because it was huge. I took a saw and I just sawed it off. But then there was like this little stump left. Now I thought that, all right, maybe I should have thrown it out. I don't know. I just left it standing there, you know, because I wanted him to see it. The plant came back, and the plant was more important than I was. That's what I knew then. And so there was no way for me to ever be as close to him as his mom was. And it's not that I was in competition, but she was with me, and that part, no. So my time's up, and I don't want to end on the bad note. So happy birthday, maybe. I'm too long.